right, so if I'm right about something really different now, going into the giants like Lucy and God, perhaps the Earth could be a giant too. The whole thing is complicated as to a few things about electricity. Let's say, for example, for one, electricity flows out the universe. Let's say, but it goes the channels. It follows a certain path. It doesn't just stop. It just keeps on traveling. The thing is, where is it going and why? Well, if it goes to apexes, and it just like solidifies or does something there, it just like incubates, it just something arrests there. Why would it do that? Why would apexes like relax electricity, let's say? And what could be there? Well, okay, the apexes are like where the God or Lucy would travel through, like it would just like scrape against them, like God would or Lucy, and just keep on cruising, and it'd be like kind of like a something that they like, let's say, for example, right now. Something the giants would like, massive giants. I'm talking about spatial giants, massive, huge things that are there's many of them too. This is not just God and Lucy, there's many of them. But we're not close to those trajectories. But what could happen though, about apexes, I'm talking about apexes now, apexes of space. When you think of God, you think of an apex, you think of like heavens, the heavens, right? But where he goes, or like could be like apexes, or apex channels. But what the complicated thing about that is, and about electricity, is we could be derived from an electric current. The planets could be regulated by electricity and created from electricity. But who created that? Well, okay. Well, you might think, what would hang out at the apexes then? Right? Scavengers, right? But like high tech shit, like really high, but not compared to God or Lucy or all the other giants. The problem is they want power. They're trying to gain power. Why would they create life though? Why would we be derived from it? And they could ascertain via electric current what you are exactly. Like they could make sure you're that. Well, I was trying to figure out how we got here. I mentioned the exact dream and nothing prior to the universe, prior to static space. Well, static space could be the beginning of consciousness, though. That could be another way of looking at it. And it's scary, which is why there is no answer in time. There's no answer. As I said, there's no answer, main answer in time. It's just all the minimal answers we can come up with don't add up in time. But that static space could be the reason why, because it's consciousness not minimal, but it just escalates from something that doesn't move that much, that doesn't create that much action, but it did. And that's the phenomenon that is interesting. But I can talk to you about this. In this criteria, let's say, that we're in, we could be around, there are many apexes, let's say, throughout the universe where the giants travel. And from that point, you can go anywhere. But the giants don't care about that. They care about other things. But what I'm trying to figure out, though, what the point of this whole thing was, like why we were here in the first place. Why is their life needed so minimal? Anyway, what is our purpose in this? Well, how were we derived here, really? Well, it's fascinating. It's all theory. It's all sci-fi. I don't take anything this seriously. This is my thoughts, anyway. But what I think, and according to this train of logic that I'm coming up with, that the power. There's a movie on it called Thor Ragnarok, right? All right, but I derive certain things from it. You look at the Jeff Goldblum scene in it, how he's like a kingpin of a massive, he's like some kind of character that's like a king almost, like some kind of divinity. But you have to watch the movie. I'm going to give it away. The funny thing is, it could be something like that in a way, in some odd respects. Some odd things could happen like that, according to how, and also, of course, Stargate with Jay Davidson and Kurt Russell. That's another movie about a warp of electricity, which is interesting, warps you can travel through. But the weird thing is, what the whole thing's been about, really. What is really going on in the whole circumstance? I mean, if you can we look at all the stuff we do with electricity anyway, but we could be derived from electricity. Yeah, that's even scarier. The planets could be too. Everything around here could have been concocted, but why? Why is there a need for it? Well, to generate more power, I guess. They're into the ones that found it, that found the apexes, are the ones that got us here anyway, via electric current. Like, see, let's say if in a long course of time you die, you can be instantaneously regenerated faster than light, almost. Electricity can move maybe even faster than light. That's even scarier. Because what happens, though, is you'll just still be walking down the same course. It solves a lot of theories that people, like physicists, try to figure things out. It's all a complicated situation, because if you're in a regulator of electricity, and the planet could be like regulated, it would make sense to how the whole thing works. Like we could be, the whole solar system could be here, and the regulator is like here, and everything's regulated, and you can't tell what this is. With electricity, it could be invisible easily to us. We can't tell what's there, and if it doesn't even need to be there for too long either. The thing is this: when you're close to a massive intelligence, the most massive intelligence, okay, and you get close to it, that's power. Okay, that's why we all like to find the light. People here like to find the light. We like to find the light, not just power, but beauty, love. We're that kind of species. We like to find like answers to like this divinity. Everyone does, but what the ones who are close to the apexes know is about that too. They can recreate Lucy too. They can recreate a smaller one with electric current. It's not just as simple as electricity either. But I'm minimizing the whole thing. It's a lot of stuff, but they simplify stuff, regulate it, and create it to generate more power. But that's not a far-fetched idea. But they create, like kingdoms. But it's like, the God that you might know might not be the real God, but the real God you can't talk to anyway. Real gods are giants. There could be real giants, real scary shit. But here's the odd thing. This is the odd thing, which tripped me up in this story, because I was thinking of this last night, and I did it, and I'm doing the show now, the next day. The thing is, I think right along the line about these apexes, I think the giants closed them, and then what? No, we wouldn't exist then. If they were closed, everything would be shut down. The whole operation would be gone. But I think what happened along the course of time was they were shut down. I think they were like defuncted in terms of like trying to gain from them from some other respect. But I think if you're an omnipresent kind of thing, like a giant could be an omnipotent kind of thing, you would know about circumstances like that are being at your center point at apexes. You would know who's there in a way, like, and what's going on there, even if it is minimal. But the odd thing about that, what tripped me up with the story last night, is that I said it could have been shut down. But then what? Well, then it leads you to a predicament where you could be within the giant or God or whatever, the superpower that we all could be dwelling in various respects of various giants, which is even scarier. All of us could be. Now, look, I'll give an example of something funny. When you can derive life from an electric current, you can understand what drives people. When you create that respect, when you create the electric human or electric life, information can be stored in it, and it could be. I could be like a replica of Czaan, some kind of another giant, of some kind of intelligence respect of another giant. That's why I know about this stuff. It could be, I don't know, it could just be a wake to Kundalini, who knows. But the thing is this, it gets complicated. But why I'm bringing this up now is it's an interesting point for one particular reason. Why are we here? What is the purpose of life in this area of the universe? And where is this area of the universe? And I gave a little orient to it. I gave like an orient. We could all be orients to something. We could orient a greater life, like the ones that's, like I said, that were the scavengers, to something greater, like other apexes. We could be designed to do that. How? I don't know. And why? I don't care.